Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, and we are live right here, right now. We had some technical difficulties here 2 days in with the video. I apologize for that. My computer is still not 100%, but we are capable of going live here today. So welcome to the show, everybody. I am your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday by our very good friend from Second City, Chicago. It's EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Always good to be back, man. I'm glad everybody can see me. And what does this shirt say? Oh my goodness. What? Oh, look at that.
Wearing the official merchandise.
You got to, man. I'm a shiller, you know?
Well, you go to the Wrestling Inc. YouTube channel, right? Or not YouTube, the Pro Wrestling Tees store right now. You can go look like EJ. You can go get a shirt. Those things are available right now. So
you want to look like me.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, it has been a humdinger of a morning here from the world of technology and such. So I don't want to bore everybody. We're behind schedule right now. Let's get to it. We got a big show here today. If you're watching us live, EJ and I are about to jump into the news portion. And then after we hear all about the news of the day, if you're over in audio land, you're immediately going to hear my interview with Olympic, the only American female Olympic freestyle gold medalist in history. Helen Maroulis is going to be here today. I got about 10 minutes of her time. She doesn't do a whole lot of press. And we get to find out, as an Olympic gold medalist, does WWE immediately try to recruit you? How does that work? So we'll dive on into that. And if, of course, you're watching us live, you go over and find the interview with Helen over on the YouTube channel shortly after we wrap up with the news segment here today. And then at the end of the show, for everybody, we're going to dive to the mailbag. We're going to look at what pro wrestling show you are most excited about watching here, later this week. All right, everything out of the way. Jump in the chat room. We have people going here. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Nadir. Yes, jump in the chat room. Let's. EJ, are you ready for some news you can use? News that'll leave a bruise.
Oh, I think so. I'm ready for a good bruising.
All right, let's get bruised, EJ. Monday Night Raw was last night, and let's talk about bruising. We'll start off with the top story here coming out of Raw. Raw saw Humberto Carillo versus United States champion Sheamus. The match ended with an awkward finish after a bad bump at ringside. The match abruptly ended after Carillo delivered a sunset flip powerbomb from the apron to the floor. Sheamus landed hard on Carrillo's knee, and he signaled to the referee. He was like, dude, I think I am very hurt. It hurts very much so. He was then checked on by the ref, leading to the finish, which appeared to be a no contest, but the official website notes that Sheamus won this match via stoppage. Sheamus did not get his arm raised after the match. Fightful reporting, the finish that we saw on Raw was obviously not the planned finish, and PWInsider.com reporting multiple sources at Raw have said Carrillo is okay, quote, after the bad finish, but there's no word yet on if he was checked out for any injury or if he's going to miss any ring time. So that's the big thing. Scary spot. Sounds okay. I hope he is, man, because I've really been enjoying the work that him and Sheamus have been putting in recently.
I know, man. I was getting worried. I was watching. I was like, do we have a monkey paw? I feel like every time we love something, it just turns left on us. I was watching the match. I was like, yes, get it. Sunset flower. Oh. No, and then they kept replaying it. Man, yeah, I'm hoping it's just a quick ouchie, and he'll be bouncing back within a week or two. Maybe even by Backlash.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I have a feeling we're not done with these two, especially after something like this where there was like a non-conclusive finish. So maybe Backlash, if he's good to go, that might be a good prediction there, EJ.
I'd like to see that.
Also, I thought this was kind of cool on Raw. WWE NXT champion Karrion Kross and Scarlett issued a warning to The Way in a new promo that aired during Raw. Kross is going to face Austin Theory tomorrow night on NXT. This is, this is the best use we've seen so far of what they've been talking about with the move to Tuesday nights. Triple H has been on these media calls saying having Raw as the lead-in should help them, but we've never really seen, that bridge there. This is the first time we have. I don't know how much it'll do, but I thought it was definitely a good attempt to take some of those Raw fans, bring them over to NXT.
I don't see why they wouldn't. They should have been doing this forever ago. Right. You built this universe. It's all connected. This is Marvel. It's all weaving into each other. They should be showing promos from something else. Now if I'm a casual watcher and I only watch Raw, I'm definitely going to tune into NXT if I haven't, because I'm going to say, who is this killer looking scary dude?
Right.
It all works right there.
Yeah, no, I didn't cross a great promo. Scarlett's obviously very good in her role as well. I thought it was just a great use of time over on Raw. And yeah, Damian Priest, he beat Johnny Drip Morrison. He's now going to face The Miz in a lumberjack match at WrestleMania Backlash. I suppose the stipulation makes sense, but it really feels kind of unneeded, and it's odd too because didn't Lashley win the title from The Miz just like a month and a half, 2 months ago in a big lumberjack match,
Yeah. It's yeah. I was sitting there going, we just did this with The Miz. He hasn't been running. We haven't, just give us the match.
Yeah.
I don't know why lumberjack was the choice. I feel like somebody did it and then realized, oh man, we already did this. They don't remember. Do a little Obi-Wan trick or something. But yeah, no, we've seen it already. I don't think this was the best use. But whatever, the stipulation. I do like Johnny Drip, the moist sea wrestler on television, as he calls himself.
Him and Miz give off big Gargano Austin Theory vibes to me, because Morrison's like the muscled up, kind of dummy, and Miz is leading him along the way and kind of calling shots for the duo,
Yeah, they're like Bizarro World editions of each other.
Well, also lastly here from Monday Night Raw, Jinder Mahal made his Raw return on Monday Night Raw. Him with Veer and Shanky at his side defeated Jeff Hardy in singles action. This was Jinder's first Raw match since the win over Akira Tozawa on April 27th, 2020. Dude, Jinder looked like an absolute beast here. I love these two guys by his side. I also thought Jeff Hardy seemed like a big deal. They gave him the whole pyro, right?
Man, I want to say, this is what I've been thinking, and I thought it doubled when I was watching. Jeff Hardy, when people come back and it's live again, needs to be a world champion. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting energy out there. He's one of those few guys, still to this day, I feel like a kid when I see him. He just has that intangible. But please, let's not ever hinder Jinder ever again. I am so happy he's back. Mwah.
Yeah, I went so far as I think we should call this trio the hindrance, right? You kind of get the hinder into the Jinder of the name.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Jinder and the Hindrance coming to an amphitheater near you.
All right. Well, moving away from Raw, Showbuzz Daily reporting that Friday's live special throwback edition of SmackDown, a retro theme with a Big Tan Man main event, drew an average of 2.282 million viewers. This was the best SmackDown audience since the Royal Rumble Go Home show back in January 29. It was tied with the post-Royal Rumble episode as the second best key demo rating of the year, behind the January 15th show. This was this week's SmackDown viewership was up 12.7% from the same week in 2020, and we were pretty early and to lockdown in the pandemic a year ago, just to kind of put things in perspective. The 18 to 49 demo was up 30% from the same week in 2020, which aired from the Performance Center with no fans. This is great news for WWE and warranted, man. I mean, SmackDown's a really enjoyable show right now.
Home run derby with SmackDown, man. I think about it in my regular day. I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do, man. Both Usos are back. And just to let you know how big SmackDown was this past Friday, my dad was watching. The throwback edition caught my dad's eye, and he called me going, yo, I'm watching Stone Cold and Arnold Schwarzenegger on wrestling. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about, Dad? And he's like, no, he's right here. I'm watching him right here. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. I'm going to sit and watch wrestling. It's been a while. And he was hooked. And now he's watching it again. I was like, oh, damn. So I think they should maybe do more throwback little tidbits, but not full on. What's the thing that they do on Raw with the when everybody comes back and beats everyone up?
Oh, like Legends Nights?
Yeah, not like Legends Night, but I like how the throwback was with little snippets. Sure. I think that moved well and didn't tarnish anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little weird that they created a retro version of SmackDown that kind of never existed. I mean, we had the fist there, but it was late 80s SmackDown, which was like a non-existent product.
But that was trippy to me too. I was like, that's weird, but all right.
Well, the thing that's so great about SmackDown right now is that all of the players are great. Like, there's no really weak performers on the show, and all the storylines are good. 2 hours isn't a reasonable amount of time. So when you kind of keep doing what you've been doing well and just kind of give it a new, fun, colorful kind of feel for the night, I mean, it's an easy recipe for success. You got Pat McAfee out there playing Vince McMahon and Michael Cole, WrestleMania 2000. So there was a lot to like there. And again, it seems like it grabbed at least one casual fan in your dad. I'm sure it grabbed some others out there too.
Yeah, man. Michael Cole with the denim on denim will always be a seller. Yeah, that was an interesting thing to see, the 80s edition of SmackDown. But can you imagine, that's been 20 years since SmackDown's been on air, and that tripped me out. I had a weird moment of like, oh man, 15 years of my life is a haze.
Yeah. Well, WWE, I mean, that's the thing is, like, as we get older, WWE gains more real estate in our lives, and we just become older and older, and they're just a part of so much of that. So
I know. Damn it.
Also, we'll talk about SmackDown here. The Observer saying that former Retribution member Mia Yim, aka Reckoning, is scheduled to make her WWE SmackDown debut later this week during the WrestleMania Backlash Go Home edition. Fightful reporting that Mia Yim, aka Reckoning, was reportedly set to begin a feud with Carmella on Friday's Throwback edition of SmackDown, but the match was nixed as WWE had to add in some of the throwback content to fit the theme of the show. Friday's SmackDown saw Carmella return to the ring. She won over Ruby Riott. This was Carmella's first singles match since losing to SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair on April 2nd. There is still no word on if Yim is going to be using her Reckoning gimmick or SmackDown over on SmackDown. But based on the fact that, like, Mace and T-Bar, I mean, they were not on Raw. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
Kind of
not a smidge. I'm assuming they're planning with their Acme tools to attack on Sunday, but yeah, there was not even a mention of them.
Yeah,
so.
And Ali is doing the best of 3 with Ricochet this week, right? And those matches have been bangers. Always great to see those two in the ring. I think that T-Bar and Mace may not be long for those names. I think that we could find them back down in NXT as Dijakovic and and doing whatever else, But
yeah,
that's why I say with Yim, I don't think it's a given she'll be Reckoning. I mean, like, I think there's a case to be made, like, she's kind of already like an action figure looking like Reckoning and stuff, but I think we're going to see Mia Yim on SmackDown. I'm not anticipating Reckoning.
No, and I think her personality fits her. Mia Yim as a person is more interesting than whatever I think they were going to make her do with Reckoning. I don't want to see her with a mask and growling. I think she's very charming and fun. I love her social media presence. That's how I first learned about her and Shelton Benjamin, just like their frenemies or whatever. I think she'd fit there, and her personality, I could see her up against anybody. Bianca Belair on the mic. I'd love that. Bayley. She'd have great matches out there, and I'm excited to see her on SmackDown.
Absolutely, man. And Mia Yim is a real talent, and the women's division over on SmackDown is super dense, like you say. There's a lot of good for her to work with. It's kind of surprising that you think about it, like they put over there, like the Raw division is really just kind of like Rhea, Asuka, and Charlotte. The women on Raw do not quite. I mean, you got, I guess, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, the tag division over on Raw.
Then Naomi, Lana. It is a few, but SmackDown feels balanced.
Yeah,
it feels balanced and raised higher. Raw is kind of like, none of this matters. None of this matters. This matters, but we did this already, and we're going to drop back down. And Alexa Bliss came on for 2 hot seconds. We haven't seen the Bray. We haven't seen the Fiend. We don't know what's going on. I don't know. There's a lot of questions and nothing. It feels like they're spinning in place when SmackDown is trucking forward hard.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, we let off with the Raw block here today, and the Carrillo stuff was like news, but like Raw did not go into Backlash like hard sell me too much on this one. I mean, you got Drew and Bobby back in the main event there. We've seen those guys kind of, lock horns quite a bit. A lot of multi-person tag matches.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Best match, I would say Shelton and Cedric, but I don't know what they're going to do with them. If that's a blow off, if they're going to keep doing that again. But
well, and I felt bad for those two guys because like they're just getting right to it with Shelton and Cedric, and like you would hope that with those guys, because everybody likes them so much, that you'd take like some time to think of something to do with them. But it kind of just shows like it feels like week to week. Well, last week we broke you up. This week we'll have you fight. Next week we'll have a match, maybe another match. Maybe it'll become a series of matches, a main event.
Yeah.
Maybe these are the new Ali Ricochet. But it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of idea of where it's going right now with those two.
No, in my head, I'm thinking maybe they get back together. They fight for a while and realize they're brothers and they love each other. But the match was just great because they knew it was just about Cedric knowing his moveset and just one-upping him until he couldn't. But yeah, I don't know. What are they going to do with them? They don't know. They don't know themselves. I'm not even going to ask.
Well, Ringside News reporting Becky Lynch has signed a new WWE contract. The company quietly signed her to a new contract a few weeks ago. She signed her last contract in 2019, which included a significant raise after her run to the top as the man. It was reported then that Lynch's new contract was worth $1 million per year. Lynch has been out of action since right after retaining the Raw Women's title over current Women's Tag Team Champion Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania 36 in 2020 due to her first pregnancy. She and Seth Rollins, of course, just welcomed their first child together in December, a baby girl. So Becky Lynch back in the fold here. She shared some photos there was like some photos of her on Mother's Day that Seth shared. She looks like she's in great shape. I have no idea what that means for a ring return. But you know, money to be made with Becky. Maybe that's why they're keeping the Raw division so tight right now, because like maybe they're anticipating, you know, some kind of big name infusion into it over there here, you know, in just a little
bit. But then when would you have her come? I mean, obviously when she's ready, but if you are making, when would you think you would bring Becky back to shake things up?
Well, you know, SummerSlam seems to be like they're going to do a big show, right? I saw on the site that it looks like, you know, August 22nd. That's what I think PW Insider was saying, and I think it might have been the Observer that's saying Madison Square Garden could potentially be where SummerSlam is, like the resurgence of SummerSlam.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, SummerSlam seems to be where they want to bring fans back. They want to kick off maybe some touring. I mean, AEW is getting to touring here in July. So if you're looking to get more fans back and create attractions, SummerSlam would seem like a reasonable time to welcome Becky Lynch back into the fold and start that push towards, you know, selling tickets for live events again.
I feel that. Yeah, you know, I love SummerSlam. Hopefully they don't. Well, maybe they will. Maybe she comes back instead of as the man, she has a shirt that says the mom.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, by that point, then too, we should have like an idea of what's going on with Charlotte, you know, and where Asuka's at, and Rhea Ripley, and hopefully, since we haven't seen Becky really in a ring, you know, at some time, a lot of this stuff will feel fresh again. So
yeah, hopefully Rhea retains. I think Rhea needs a W.
All right, lastly here before, if you're listening in audio, we throw to Helen Maroulis, which, again, you guys will be able to find over on YouTube here shortly after we wrap the live feed. WWE Hall of Famer, the Godfather, Charles Wright, is set for an appearance on WWE's Broken Skull Sessions with Steve Austin. No word yet on when the Godfather's episode is going to air, but it should be later this month, the weekend of May 22nd or the weekend of May 29th. I'm a big Charles Wright Godfather fan. This should be great.
I'm excited. I got to see it. I would love to know. I feel like he has stories. So I'm sure whatever him and Stone Cold chop it up with, I hope they have an unedited version out in the world for us to truly enjoy.
All right. Well, if you are over on YouTube right now, I want to remind you guys again, Helen Maroulis about to be out, but we will right now cut to the mailbag. Welcome to the end of the show, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you like this, if you're enjoying it, fingers up, thumbs up. I know you can do that over on the social medias and stuff. Apologies again for the delay here today. I have never walked into my office and nothing worked. And I want to thank Joshua Gagnon, who is our social media head, who teched me through this morning and helped us get to this point. There's still some work to do that I'll deal with when we're done, but enough to get it done here today. So thank you, Josh. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to Helen Maroulis as well for that great interview. At WInc Daily, WINC Daily, that is the Twitter account to follow. We have finally done it. We have more than 1,000 followers over on Twitter. Celebrated yesterday. I shared a video of me and my awesome dog Willow. We sang Werewolves of London. which seemed appropriate because it's a song about werewolves and she's a dog and there's howling. So she howled with me. So if you want to go check that at WInc Daily, it's a place to go find that kind of content. All right. It's time to mailbag. Today's mailbag question is what here, let me pull up the actual poll. That would probably help. All of my screens are weird. Which pro wrestling show are you most excited to watch this week? Is it NXT? Is it Dynamite? Is it Smackdown? Or is it WrestleMania Backlash? Well, as I go over here and check the most recent poll results, with over 250 votes here in just the last hour, 45.2% AEW Dynamite, 23% NXT, 18.5% Smackdown, and only 13.3% WrestleMania Backlash. I think it's interesting that the go-home show for Backlash for SmackDown is doing better than the actual Backlash show in our poll.
Yeah. Guess what I voted for? SmackDown.
Yeah.
After that last SmackDown, the ending of it, all I'm thinking about is I'm like, oh my God, Roman Reigns is going to be pissed. Like, that's all I'm thinking about. And the go home is usually the best episode for anything. And if they've been doing work this great, then you know that this SmackDown is going to be a firework factor.
Yeah, I also chose SmackDown because I just enjoy SmackDown, right? It's like a fast, tight 2 hours of pro wrestling each week. So
we have to acknowledge the head of the table, man. He's head of the table. That's why. Oh, I lost Nick. But I guess I will read and go ahead. We're still live here, so I'm just going to talk and vamp. We got some other people that voted. Let's see. Our friend Raj, she's voted SmackDown and Backlash. All right, we got that going. At KG Sting, hey, Nick is back.
Sorry, again, like I have too many screens here, or my screens are configured differently, but I'm here. Oh my God. All right. Anyway,
I started reading the mailbag. I was like, vamp. Hello, people.
All right, let me read some comments. At Ross Mooker, SmackDown and Backlash. At Huge Tiny Mistake, great Twitter handle. Backlash is completely warmed over stuff we've already seen. NXT is turning into main roster with longer matches. Dynamite is the only thing that's entirely new, and we are guaranteed not to see the same matches. I will say that the Roman Reigns story is great, so I do enjoy that. So a sign of approval for SmackDown there. As at Aztec AK 780. Can't forget MLW. At KJ Singh, only thing I care about is AEW this week is Darby versus Miro. I agree with that. Darby versus Miro is something to be excited about.
Oh, yeah.
Lastly here, WC Impact SWE Fury. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the show. All right, so I apologize again for all the technical. I apologize to you, EJ. This is off the rails here today.
This is fun. What?
Get my shit together. And I'm going to come back tomorrow. We're going to have Brian Wool. EJ will be back next Tuesday. We're going to have a huge guest that I am dropping tomorrow over on the YouTube feed and on the show as well. So come on back for that. Support WrestlingInc.com. Support the Wrestling Inc. podcast after all the shows. EJ, what do you want to plug, promote, put over here to wrap up the show today?
You know, y'all keep being good people, washing your hands, do your taxes, doing that right now. Yeah. I hope you told your mothers hello if they're here and you got some love. Get your shot if you can. Buy one of these cool T-shirts. Look how cool it is. It fits your body great. You look muscular and hokey in it. Oh,
yeah.
And eat a bagel.
Yeah, Wrestling Inc. That's the pro wrestling tea store. You can go get that shirt. Yeah, bagels always good, people. I am at Nick_Hausman. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss.